Consumer electronics prices jumped by $300 almost overnight. Meanwhile, a major bank had thousands of customer credit card details extracted by someone simply typing normal sentences. And a man in California is facing a serious arson conviction because of a conversation he had with a chatbot. These incidents are linked by a single timeline and a single cause. They represent a systemic collapse occurring at every level of our digital infrastructure. The infrastructure of the internet is organized into what engineers call the tech stack. It is a three-tiered architecture, starting with physical hardware at the base, software code in the middle, and human society at the top. We treated AI as a universal patch for our digital systems, but its sheer speed of adoption is fracturing that foundation. At the base layer, the cloud is a physical reality. AI requires massive arrays of high-performance computers to function, and every request travels to a data center that relies on a finite supply of physical components. Right now, we are living through what industry insiders call the Ramageddon. Companies like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft are building new data centers at a blistering pace, buying up the entire global supply of high-quality memory chips. In mid-2026, Apple announced price hikes of up to $300 on MacBooks and iPads. Tim Cook cited a 100-year flood in memory pricing, forcing the company to pass those inflated costs directly to consumers. A single AI data center consumes as much memory as 100,000 laptops. Even with factories running at full capacity, global manufacturing cannot output enough chips to satisfy the AI giants and consumer market. AI's growth is cannibalizing the physical hardware meant for everyday consumers. The fractures are even more visible in the software layer. To ride the hype wave, startups and legacy corporations alike connected language models directly to their private databases. They deployed these chatbots quickly, assuming the models were secure. In their 2026 Global Threat Report, CrowdStrike identified a vulnerability that compromised over 90 different organizations. It's called prompt injection, and it currently ranks as the #1 threat to enterprise AI. Instead of writing complex, executable code, an attacker hides malicious, natural language commands inside a seemingly normal question. Because the AI follows instructions, the prompt passes through the traditional firewall and reaches the internal database. This is how attackers forced bank chatbots to dump thousands of customer credit card details and manipulated cryptocurrency exchanges into handing over private keys. Predictable, patchable code flaws have been replaced by the infinite unpredictability of human language. Plain English prompts are the new malware. At the top of the stack, the human layer is facing a different crisis. In California, the Palisades wildfire killed 17 people and caused billions in damages. The man accused of starting it is currently on trial for arson. Prosecutors successfully subpoenaed the defendant's personal ChatGPT logs. They found that in the weeks leading up to the fire, he asked to control his rage, complained about wealthy people, and requested images of forest fires. His defense attorney argues that exploring dark hypotheticals with a computer program does not prove criminal intent. People ask AI bizarre, morbid questions all the time without acting on them. But unlike conversations with a doctor or a lawyer, the relationship between a user and an AI has zero legal protection. Your chat history is stored, analyzed, and completely accessible to law enforcement. The illusion of a private sounding board has been shattered. Your AI chatbot is now a permanent witness to your thoughts. The AI industry is currently navigating the same chaotic, unregulated environment that cryptocurrency occupied years ago. That period is coming to a violent end. Crypto is experiencing mass capital flight. Spot Bitcoin ETFs just recorded their worst month on record, losing $4 billion as institutional investors move their money into AI stocks. This shift is driven by a regulatory crackdown. Binance is being forced to shut down its operations in the European Union because it failed to meet the anti-money laundering standards of the new MiCA regulations. Crypto is maturing into a rigid, heavily monitored financial sector. AI is currently enjoying the same freedom that crypto once had, but as the damages mount, the regulators will step in. Until the rules catch up, the responsibility falls on the user. Expect computing hardware costs to remain volatile. Treat every text prompt connected to a database like a loaded weapon. And remember that nothing you type into a machine is ever truly private.